Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ronnie coming today with some sales video. We had a pretty decent weekend with all the craziness going on, and it seems like we're going to be in house arrest for another month. So, it's back. Yo, my eyes look dark, don't they? I haven't been getting enough sleep lately. I don't know why. Home all the time. I haven't been leaving the house. But anyway, make a long story short, this weekend was pretty decent in sales. Did about $1,000 over the weekend, and I'm going to show you what we sold. Turned down a few offers. It actually could have been a better weekend. Fought with a few people like $25 over a few $100 things. Don't know how they're going to play out, but hey, we'll go find out and see. But we'll talk about it a little bit. It's only 11 items, so it's going to be a pretty easy video. But big thing was listing, because a lot of the things that sold were things that we just listed. So people are buying, I guess. So time to get shit listed. First item we're going to show here is this. This is a McGee, and it's with Dangal Tweed material. It's regular size, 42. It's like a blue herringbone tweed. But there's the tag right there for you. This was your traditional what do you want to call it? Just tweed blazer. We got $102 for this plus shipping. So, and this took about 3 weeks or so to sell. So sold pretty quickly. So not bad. Now these next 3 items all went to the same buyer. We have this buyer. He buys a bunch of things. Last time he bought 3 Oxford blazers from us and a Henry Poole one when I just listed them. When I picked the second one up, or a few pieces, I was thinking that he might be interested. Messaged him, and he actually bought another piece that I was selling. But here we go. This is a Domenico Spano, and it's made for Bird Off Goodman, which is a department store. It's 100% cashmere. I've had this up probably about 3 months here. This is just a brown 3-button front. The picture is kind of a little off. I think I took it at nighttime. When I take pictures at nighttime, our pictures do not come out that well. I got to take our pictures in more the morning to early afternoon, where they get really funky. We have a very small area to take pictures, and if you don't have the right lighting, there's the tag right there. Bird Off Goodman, designed by Spano. I'm probably killing names, but hey, when I type the names, I don't have to spell them. So I picked this off of eBay. I picked it up. I paid like $12 ship for it and sold it for $140 plus shipping. So not bad return on that. And this was probably about 3 months ago. And that same buyer bought 2 other items. This is probably the highlight of the weekend. This is a Oxford. This is a newer label, Oxford. I'll show you that in a second. He paid $300. Didn't even bother to make an offer. It had working cuffs, which are when the cuffs unbutton. Really nice. This is a newer tagged one. It had the ticket pocket, which is the second pocket, usually above. It's a little bit smaller pocket. Had a really nice blue check pattern to this. It was wool and linen, very light material. Had a very nice looking, I was going to say interior, but what do you want to call this? Lining to it. These are custom made. That's the newer Oxford label. It looks a little bit different. It's black, it's gold. A lot of Oxford suits are dated on the inside, as we can show you right here. 1/2/2018 and SC Sport Coat. They give you a lot of information on these things, especially Oxford. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. You could tell this was a wool and linen mix from the material. And I also got this off of eBay. I paid about $30. I wound up getting about a half dozen sport coats from a seller for about $30 a piece. Listed it. This sold in an hour a listing or so. So 2 hours maybe tops. So always good. So turn 30 into 300 is not bad at all. I'll take it any day of the week. I don't usually pick up the older Oxford stuff because they're dated. They have very heavy shoulder padding, and I think they're kind of hard to sell. For me, anyway. I mean, others may do well, but I try to stay pretty recent. And then the last item they picked up with this Luciano Barrera. This is a 2 extra large. It's like a charcoal gray, just button-up shirt. Once again, I must have took these at nighttime because the glare on these is ridiculous. Made for Lewis of Boston, which was a men's store in Boston. And, nothing special, but Luciano Barrera has a little bit of a name for it. People do follow it. It's a little longer tail items trying to sell. And this sold for $42.49 and got shipped with all that other stuff. So it was very, very nice. Hopefully he comes back and buys some stuff in the next day or two. He usually, once he gets his package, he'll come back and buy something else, which is good. I like it. He's one of my biggest buyers, so if I can find stuff in his size, it's good. This is a Lacoste shirt. I got this in the basketball players lot. I really don't like picking up Lacoste stuff. See the tag here, slim fit, designed in France, made in France. Actually, you don't see too many of them made in France, do you? But I took a best offer. This one, I think it was about $18. This has been listed about 6 weeks or so, somewhere in there. I picked these up on the Super Bowl, and they probably took a week after that to get listed, so February, March. Maybe about 2 months tops on this one. So 6 weeks to 8 weeks, somewhere in that time frame. I redid all our listings and took them all down and refreshed a lot of them last week. So I'm out of date on how long we had certain items. But I usually don't pick up Lacoste stuff. We were into this for about $10, as we had 100 pieces of clothing, paid $1,000 for them. So you do the average on these, and that's what you get. So not the greatest return, but it did sell. This is a Laurel Piana fabric. It's wool, linen, and silk. I got it kind of because of the size, being a 48. And it's like it's like a gray. It has a nice check pattern to it. It wasn't too bad. But this is made by Natalie's. It's in Hanover. It's a department store similar to like Lewis of Boston or something like that. They sell a lot of high-end clothes, but they also have a tailor on site, and they can make suits and stuff for people. And it was made with Laurel Piana fabric, which is wool, linen, and silk. Laurel Piana fabric is not all the greatest. Kind of depends on the brand or the jacket you get it with and stuff like that. It has a little bit of a selling point as a fabric, but what you really want to find is the brand itself is where the money is carried. But, a bunch of different things. This sold for $55 plus shipping. So I was moving stuff along, and I've had this probably inventory number 816, probably 3 months or so. He was a kind of a mistake buy, but it kind of made money on this on the end. This is a bunch of ties I picked up. I picked up a bunch of ties one day, probably 15 ties at a local thrift store. They do $1 a tie. And they wind up being Paul Stewart, which certain ties will do okay if you get more recent. These were more vintage. They had little bit of different issues with them. Some were nice, some were not, but I just lotted all the ties together to try to move them. I was into them. You figure $6 for the 6 of them. And I just took, a quick picture of each one. And there's the tags. These are all older. These are probably, if I had to guess, 80s, 90s, depending on the tags. And then I got here, I just put it down a quick, I should have maybe put down the length on these, but they were all between a certain size or something. But one had a few wrinkles, one had some light staining around the neck, that's the area where you tie the neck or tie the tie around the neck area. Light stains around the neck. Again, got a few wrinkles, and then two were in excellent condition. So I just wanted to move them all. I figured I'd lot them together, and they would sell pretty well. And I think we took a best offer of these, about $38 plus shipping. So not bad at all. Good to see them go. And they were listed maybe about 3 weeks. So this next item I actually sold twice over the weekend. I listed it, and both times it sold within a few hours of listing, with these pair of Nike Air Max for the Olympics. This was for the last Olympics. They were 11 and a half. And you can see right here, these are Air Max. They were in pretty decent condition, not too bad. I thought about keeping these for a minute, but I was size 11. I love Air Max sneakers. But I'm not, I would have had to take the inner sole out of these to really make them work. They had USA on the tongue, red, white, and blue. You can see right here, when you look at the tags on these, to look up what the shoe model is, you just have to look at that number in the middle where it says 819523-064. That's the number you want to search into Google or into eBay to see what other comps there are of this shoe, and also you can find out information like the model, so on, etc. But these were in really good condition. They probably won a few different times, but I took an offer for $100. Somebody in the UK, I believe, he didn't want to pay the excise tax. He got in this like huge back and forth thing with me, so I said, okay, fine, I'm not gonna deduct $30 from the shoe so you could get your tax. So I relist them, and someone sent me an offer again for $100, and I gladly took it in a few hours. So I was into these for about $10. I didn't pay that much for these at all. 8 or 10, somewhere in between that. These were probably from the last time I went thrifting. I just, with all the crazy news going on, I just did not, it was hard for me to get into the listing of, into the mood of listing. But recently, hey, it's time to get stuff done. Money's to be made. Things may happen in the world, but you can control your own attitude and your own thing. You could be down about certain things, but guess what? You got to rebound and got to move your ass and get stuff done. And that's what we did. Wife's been home lately because they canceled a lot of flights, and then they started actually canceling dental appointments and stuff like that. It was crazy. He actually had dental appointments up until today. They just started canceling today. This was listed for 1 day only, too. This is a vintage J press. This has that 3-roll front where it's a 3-button technically, but it's a 2-button. It really works as a 2-button. I don't understand how these things work. It's a gray herringbone, your traditional, good size, 46 long. But you can see right there where that second or third buttonhole on the top there kind of rolls over. Your traditional J press tag right there. This is an older J press. See the 46 long on the inside. And this sold for $120. I was into this for about $10. And like I said, it took a day to sell. So people were looking for sport coats this weekend and looking for some tweed, which is kind of weird. By the time they get to wear this and wear it somewhere, it's going to be over. Like wearing anything that requires, it's going to be summer here very soon, which is crazy. And I'm looking forward to estate sales and yard sales and actually getting out of the house and going to estate sales, because the only place I've been to is the grocery store. Like in the last 10 days, the grocery store, maybe Chick-fil-A drive-through once, our storage shed to get a few things. Like I haven't been in no contact with no people. This we got from the basketball players a lot too. It's a Vince hooded like sweatshirt. and just it was wool, 2 extra large. I took a best offer of this of I think it was $58 plus shipping. I had a zipper on the side, which was kind of weird. But Vince is an okay brand. It runs hot and cold, depends on what you got. But anytime I see a sweater and it's wool or cashmere, I will pick it up. I'll pick up their suits and suits or sport coats for the most part. But I do not pick up their shirts. I do not pick up their pants really because they just don't sell that well for me. But yeah. So I was into this. This is another item we got for $10 from the basketball players. So that was good to go. And then this last item here is also another item from the basketball players. Lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So still selling that stuff where I got a lot of sweaters out of that. A lot. I've sold a lot of the shirts. I've sold some of the suits. All the like heavier jackets I've sold. But this is a Hugo Boss 2 extra large, like a pullover, half zip, quarter zip pullover. And it's the green label. It's kind of more recent a little bit. Main China, though, regular fit. You know, it wasn't anything specific. There's the right there, C-PICENO. That's the model to this. But what was the material on this? It was a cotton blend, so yeah, 94% cotton, 6%. Oh, almost time to start cooking dinner. But we sold this for $46 plus about $12 shipping or so, and this sold, going to the UK. No, I'll get it. Don't worry about it. So that was it. Really pretty decent sales week, to say the least. Been doing pretty good at it. But I've also been consistently listing a few things every day. Last 2 days have been a little bit overcast, so I really haven't put too much on. But tomorrow I got about 6 sport coats and about 12 ties I'm going to get listed. And then probably about, I don't know how many drafts do I have? Let me see. I can go by how many drafts I have because I don't have it in front of me. I know I have 12 ties that I haven't made drafts for. And then there is currently 17. So I got about 29 listings or so. So not bad. I mean, I'll get through those in a few days. Hopefully I have some more stuff coming in so that I know if I have a suit, 2 sport coats, and about another 15 or so ties coming in. So still buying, still finding stuff, but it's been pretty good. So hope everybody stays motivated. Just keep working, list stuff, list what you got. eBay's, depending, I've heard a lot of people have really good sales, really bad sales, people up, down. Comment down below how your sales have been and what you sell, and just see where we're at here with certain things. We're not in this alone. We're all in this together. And as long as we stay positive and keep moving forward and, stay away from people. This for me is like heaven, staying away from people. I tell you right now, like I could be perfectly fine living on like a 40-acre piece of property. Give me a few 4-wheels, a side-by-side. The only person I'd have to see is my mailman and my wife. Like, I would be good. I would be happy. I would just source online. I'd just have stuff come to my house. I wouldn't even bother going to a thrift store. Though I do miss it like crazy. I tell you right now, I miss going to the thrift store like crazy. This stock market stuff going up and down every day, driving me crazy. I ain't messing with it anymore. I said that for right now. But like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.